Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Talk and Do Physics. In today's lesson, we are going to dive into physics examination. A wave on water travel towards a stationary boat. This is a diagram of a stationary boat. This is a stationary boat. Don't mind my diagram. This is a stationary boat, and this is the water, and this is the wave. That is the wave. Now the question goes thus: as the wave passes, the boat starts to move up and down. Why? And gaining kinetic energy. We want to know the mystery behind why the boat is moving up and down and gaining kinetic energy. Which property of the wave changes as the wave passes the boat? Now, we have properties of the wavelength, which we have the amplitude, we have the thought, we have the crest, we have the time, and we also have the frequency, the speed. So then I said, when the boat, the question is, which property of the wave changes as the wave passes the boat? The wave passes the boat. Which of its properties changes? Who can tell me? Yes? Speed? No. Come up. Variable, clap on for yourselves. Amplitude. So let's dive into it to see how it changes. This is the diagram. This is a displacement. This is where the wave starts. It's journey up and down. Up and down. To continue like that. So at this point that we have here, this is the peak. And this is the down one is a trough. So the distance between this and this is what we call the amplitude. This is where the wave will change. The wave will change if the wave goes up, move up and down, the amplitude will change. Please note that if the wave moves up and down, the amplitude will change because it must surely get to the peak and get to the lower. What is it using to get to the peak and get to the lower? It is the energy. And what kind of energy? The kinetic energy. Now this kinetic energy, how does it come in the wave of the water? The kinetic energy, the molecules of the water gains kinetic energy. The molecules of the water that form the wave journey gain kinetic energy. And that same kinetic energy does transfer to the stationary boats. And when the boat starts moving up and down, the boat will not sink unless it has heavy intense of wave buoyancy. Heavy intense of wave buoyancy can cause the boat to sink. But because of the fact that the boat is moving up and down, it will not sink. So if you happen to be in the middle of a river and there is a wave turbulence moving up and down, and the wave and the boat is moving up and down, it depends on the degree of the wave, the intensity of the wave, the intense buoyancy of the wave can cause it to sink. But some other time it might not be sink. So you are going to understand that when you are in a river inside a speedboat, when a speedboat moves up and down, I know there will be a problem moving up and down as the wave, because it's the wave that controls it, moving up and down. Therefore, means that why I'm saying that the boats might not sink unless we have heavy intense buoyancy of the speed wave that can cause the boat to sink. So as you're watching me, remember to share and subscribe and click at the button below, and this will interest me to do more interesting video. Now let us look at a particular thing. This is for those of you doing physics, what do we call it? Kinetic energy, mv squared. Kinetic energy is the energy that the molecules of the water is gaining. The molecule of the water is gaining this. And while the boat is on the surface, is on the water level, the boat does not sink. It is because the boat is less dense than water. For those of you that study physics, that you know what we mean by less dense. That means that the density of the boat is greater than the density of the water. That is why the boat is not sink and the boat is floating. And that is why if you are using, for instance, you put a Coke straw, you put a straw inside a Coke, what happened that the straw will remain at the surface, or enters the Coke without getting to the bottom. That is why we have to talk about what we are just discussing right now. So in another class, we are going to discuss about that. So I want to let you understand the reasons why the boat is floating and moving up and down is because of less dense. Less dense means that the density of the boat is greater than the density of the water. What do we mean by the density? Density is the mass all over the volume. The mass of the boat and the volume of the boat does not allow the boat to sink, because the mass and the volume of the boat is greater than the mass and the volume of the water. That means the boat remains stationary. And what makes the boat to move up and down is the wave, high intense buoyancy of the wave that causes the boat to move up and down, because the wave has started gaining what? The molecules of the water started gaining kinetic energy. And what is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is the energy by the virtue of the motion. When something is in motion, that thing is gaining kinetic energy. So as you are watching me, remember to share and subscribe and click at the bottom below, and this will interest me to do more interesting video. Physics is straight. Physics is very good. Continue to stay tuned and watch physics from this channel, and you will be able to understand what physics is all about. The nature of physics is science. Thank you.